that platform is carefully thought out. I think is carefully planned. It takes you from wherever point you are in your training to a point where you can secure a job. My story was, I already had my training somewhere, but I was struggling a lot after my training. And I think I already had one interview prior to meeting Shaz. And then when I was speaking to this person, it's like, oh, I know your problem. You know the theory part of things, but you do not have like a practical experience. And sometimes these two things go side by side. So they referred me to Shaz. I had my first chat with Shaz. I already had the impression that, yeah, I've been referred to a good page, because Shaz was speaking with so much confidence, so much, when someone knows something, he was speaking like that to me. So I was like, okay, this is where I need to be. And I remember after my first interview, the person who was mentoring me, shout out to the lady, because she's actually very wonderful. But when I said to her, like, this was what was asked in the interview, and she was like, oh, wow, this is a bit, okay, I'll come back to you. And we never really managed to sort that problem. But once I said to Shaz, this was what the case study in the interview was about, and it was like, oh, they were basically just asking you this, asking you that. And I was like, oh my God, why didn't I meet you before then? But yeah, so I spoke to him. He put me through TLA, told me what to do, got me on board. And to be fair, I started, following every step. That platform is carefully thought out. I think is carefully planned. It takes you from wherever point you are in your training to a point where you can secure a job. Because I remember I started from the beginning, looked at, oh, I've done this training, these videos, I don't need to watch them, I've done that. But I watched everything again, followed the directives, did my LinkedIn, set it back and forth. And the thing about TLA is that I think the staff are very patient. The people you work with, people on TLA, they're quite very patient. They never really hassled me. They were like, okay, do this, I'll send it back. It's like, no, do this, do that. And then we went back and forth. At the end of the day, got signed up like, oh, okay, you're good with your LinkedIn. Looked at my CV again. I used to always think my CV was good. And then they remade it again, like redone it and sent it back. And I was like, oh my. I was quite confident. But again, these are just like part of the job, because every element is part of the whole puzzle. So I've done the LinkedIn, done the CV, and one of the points I know helped me is that LinkedIn platform for TLA, where you see a lot of people posting, bring new ideas or share jobs and all that, is actually very helpful as well, because Shabazz is one person that I'll just singled out. He is always my go-to person. I've got Raj as well. I've got wonderful people around the team, like these people. And that's another thing about life, I'll say. When you come into a place, I'm not just coming in to get work experience, or I'm not just coming in to nick my job. I also make establish relationship wherever I am. Because at the end of the day, these things will be the lasting things that you take with you. So I already knew all that. So that's why I'm calling these names now, because these are the people that I was really close to. I was always running to them whenever I had an interview. Before I even request mentorship on the platform, I've already spoken to these people, Shabazz, Raj, and this other guy. So I already always speak to them. So my journey was more like, I was a bit comfortable because I knew it was going to come. Because the testimony was, I looked at Shaz, I looked at all the people who come to say, oh, I was on this platform for XYZ months or years and I got this job. So that was my confidence. It wasn't what I know or what I was doing, but I was looking at it that this is practical. Like, it's very practical. A lot of people on here have done this, followed these directions, gone through the same process I'm going through, and it's come through for them and they got the job. So I was very confident in that aspect. So I just applied myself to say, you know what, I'm gonna just listen to these people, follow them every post Shaz is posted. I'm really like, I just drop it. I started spending a lot of time on my LinkedIn. And I just recently realized how powerful LinkedIn is, to be honest. I just recently just realized that every post, every connection just adds up to the end of your journey. So I was looking at that, training, rehearsing. Sometimes a lot of hard work, especially for us newbies who are coming in. We don't know the practical side of these things. There's only how much you can read sometimes. But, you know, I just kept applying myself. My belief never, ever wavered. I knew it was there. I knew it was going to come. I didn't know how many interviews I was going to do before I got my first role, but I knew I was going to get the first role, and that's what I was putting for. Raju called me, like, we talk sometimes at night time, and these guys are just wonderful. I know I did my bit. I tried to put in effort, but I think it's a 50-50 thing. If you don't have these people guiding you in the right direction, telling you all these things, I probably would not have a success story today. So I'm just happy to nicked my first role, and I'm just happy to say I've come on video, which I don't like to do, to tell people like me who are there, because to be fair, from the beginning, it didn't look like it was achievable, but I gave it a shot. And then when I started seeing people who have achieved, so for every person who's come to tell you their success story is one belief more that you need to have. Because that's how I grew into it. And I was like, okay, this guy, all right, if this guy can do it, I can do it. There was never any envy. It was more like, this is a positive challenge. Like, this guy's done it, I need to do it. So it was more of a conviction that people are getting these roles. There are roles out there, and I can do whatever I need to do. I can put in whatever amount of effort and work that I need to put into it, and I can make it. So that's my own little success story. And as always, I just want to say one thing again. I think these platforms are very important. They are very, very important. And Shaz, I want to tell you thank you. And I need to mention again, when I changed this Tritech, because when I called her, I said the same thing to her. I said, a couple of years ago, people didn't have this. And it was harder for people like me to get this sort of support and then transition onto the next phase of our careers. But these days, you can find this platform. So I don't think people should take them for granted. And I think they deserve a massive shout out. I would just say, first of all, is believe. It's here. If you put your mind to it, because that's what I did. And these people in front of you, I think they're more of physical inspiration than the mind thing. So, but you need both of them to work. So believe and listen to what these people are giving you. Put in the work. Put in the work. You've got to dig in deep. You need to do work. I'm not even joking. I do night shifts. And I give this whole process 6 to 8 hours every day. I'm not joking.
Wow.
Every day. It's either I'm watching YouTube or even sometimes I'm just on LinkedIn, just reading what people are saying, reading different profiles, updates in my profile to say. And the more time you spend with these things, the more familiar. At a point, I was feeling like I was a business analyst, even though I didn't have a role.